This is the Bauer 20 volt lithium half-inch hammer drill from Harbor Freight, and this isn't your typical Harbor Freight piece of junk. This is actually built a lot nicer, but also with that nicer build quality though comes a higher price, and this costs about $75 and only comes with one battery. So I feel like you can maybe just go to the store and buy an actual name brand one that comes with 2 batteries for just a little bit more. So this might not be worth getting unless you really don't have that extra 30 or 40 bucks and you're cool with just one battery. I saw that they do sell the batteries separate there, and they're about $20 a piece. So you could load up on batteries. They're not that expensive, but this thing is pretty nice though. I was surprised. It feels good and it looks good. So I don't really want to spend too much time with this, like talking about the specs. I really just want to try this thing out, see what it can do. So I set up this piece of wood and I was gonna drill this hole in there, and I pushed the button. It doesn't sound good and it doesn't smell good either, and so it's like, I don't know if it's supposed to have sparks like that. I mean, I know motors spark, but that's pretty it's pretty bad. I'm gonna try this thing out, but I don't know if that's what it's supposed to sound like, or like, I don't know. I'm already thinking this was a bad idea. Well, I don't know, this thing, I don't know if it's just poor build quality. I've never had a drill that, I mean, it looked good when I took it out of the package, but I never had a drill it sounds like it's broken. It's like, sounds broken right out of the box. I'm gonna try to drill with it. I don't know if that's just how it is or what, but let's see what it does. That's on 1, so I'll turn the speed up a little bit. This thing has no balls. Oh, and it overheated or stopped or something. And it overheated or stopped. This thing's a piece of junk. Is this too much to ask from this drill? This isn't the sharpest bit ever, but I thought that would make the test a little more rugged. Am I asking too much though? I'm gonna set up my old drill and see if that can do this with no problem. And this is like a 10-year-old Porter cable. Got aftermarket battery. I'm gonna try and see what if this thing can do it and this can't. I think I'm gonna take this back, because this isn't really what I needed. Well, I had to change the battery out because the other one it wasn't a fresh charged battery, but this thing isn't overheating. It's almost through. Let's see. The Bauer drill only made it about a little bit over an inch in before, and it overheated twice. So we know this thing isn't any good at drilling 2-inch holes through wood. Let's see how this thing does as a screw gun. So in screw mode, on the highest 21, on the highest torque setting, you get about this much. Let's see how far we can drive it in there on drill mode. Ooh, hot. As far as using this thing as a screw gun, I mean, it does work. It does drive them in there pretty good, but it just feels like it's giving it everything it's got on every screw to get it in there. And it does get it in there and really good and real far. But you could see when I was screwing the screws in on drill mode that it would overheat, and I guess that's a safety, but it's something I'm not used to on my older drill. But I just don't know how long this thing could sustain a lifestyle of you know, giving it 110% on every screw. I feel like the drill shouldn't, like screwing screws in shouldn't be the peak of the drill's power. But this thing claims to be a hammer drill too, so let's I got a piece of concrete here, so let's try that feature out. It actually works. I thought this thing was sparking a little excessively, but what it turns out is that you just see more of it because it has openings along the top, and most other drills, at least that I have, don't have openings on the top, so the only way to see the sparks is through the side. They made about, you know, the same amount, and the smell is probably normal because it's brand new, but the way this thing performed, it just doesn't cut the mustard. I'm not one to take stuff back, but I honestly don't think they should be selling this for the price that they're selling it. All in all, this drill does do everything that it claims to do. It's just not really that good at it. It doesn't have a lot of power. It overheats. It sounds horrible when it's running. It doesn't sound like it's going to last that long. I couldn't really find any practical reason why somebody would really buy this drill unless you just, I don't know, I guess if you're like if you like Bauer, I don't even know what that. I would say to stick with your name brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and all those trusted brands, because this thing just isn't worth it. If they could slash the price down on this thing to like $40, which I think they could do, because seeing how chintzy this thing is once you get using it, then I think that it would be a good buy at like $40. But $75 is just way too much, and this thing it's not good for the professional. It's really not good for the weekend person, and it's too good to put IKEA furniture together, so it really doesn't have a place. So save yourself the headache, and I would say save yourself the headache and stay away from this drill.